All right. In this half, we're going to look at improper fractions and mixed numbers. An improper fraction is a fraction where the absolute value of the numerator is greater than the absolute value of the denominator. And really it means that the larger number is on the top. If we can write improper fractions as mixed numbers by dividing, and then we can go back again from a mixed number to an improper fraction. It's kind of neat. So we're going to learn how to do that in this section on this video. And let's start with the number 9 here. It says write the mixed number as an improper fraction. So what we're going to do in order to convert a mixed number, this is called the mixed number because it's got a whole part and it's got a fraction part. So to make it into an improper fraction, which is where the number on the top is bigger, we start by multiplying the 4 in the denominator times the whole number 6. That's 24. And then we add 1. That's 25. And then you put it back underneath the divisor. So we took the 4, we multiplied by 6, and added the numerator, 1. That gave us the top number, and then the 4 stayed the same. I want to write that out to the side so you have it. But you take the 4, you multiply by 6, and add 1. So 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 more is 25 over 4. And that's the improper fraction version of 6 1/4. Let's do it for negative 4 2/3. Now, does it make sense? The numbers are negative. I'm just going to convert the form he's in. So the answer will still be negative. 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 plus 2 is 14, and you leave it over 3. And it's negative. I forgot to put that down. I think I made it equals instead of a... Get rid of that. I just want the negative. All right. Now, so it's pretty easy to convert a mixed number to an improper fraction. You just take the denominator, multiply by the whole number, and then add the numerator on the fraction and put it all over the original denominator. Now let's do it the other direction. We're going to write these improper fractions as mixed numbers. In order to do that, we're going to have to use our long division. I'm going to divide the 4 into 13 using long division. 4 goes into 13 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12, and we subtract. Now, before, we wrote that as a remainder 1. The remainder is now going to make up the top of the fraction that is going to go along with this whole number. So this is the whole number part. The remainder is going to go on the top, and the divisor is going to go on the bottom. Just want you to see where those pieces come from. And one more. I won't do it on all of them, but I want you to have it at least once so you can see where the pieces go. Okay, let's do the next one. We're going to divide. Now, our answer is going to be negative, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down because that is just going to be part of our final answer. 5 goes into 47. 5 goes into 47 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45, and we subtract. Now remember, this is the whole number. This remainder is our new numerator, and it goes over the divisor. And we've got it. Now let's continue. We're going to use our knowledge of mixed numbers and fraction operations to answer the following. So we're going to subtract, and we're going to do a little bit of division. Now, adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing fractions, we've got down now. That happened a couple of sections ago. In this one, we're looking at it with mixed numbers, but we don't have to. That's the reason that we learn about improper fractions. If they were two-part fractions, right, improper or proper fractions, it wouldn't matter to us. We could easily do it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to convert both of these into improper fractions. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 more is 14 over 3, minus, I'm going to do the same thing to the second fraction, mixed number. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7 over 2. Now, in order to add or subtract fractions, remember we need a common denominator. For 3 and 2, I'm going to take the largest one. 3 times 1 is 3, but 2 doesn't divide into it. 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 does divide into it. So 6 is going to be my new denominator. In order to get a 6 in this first fraction in the denominator, I had to multiply it by 2, but if I do it to the top, bottom, I'm going to do it to the top. 2 times 14 is 28. For the second fraction, to make a 6 in the denominator, I'm going to multiply by 3, but if I do it to the bottom of the fraction, I'm going to do it to the top. That gives me 7 times 3, which is 21. Now, to subtract, I'm going to take 28 minus 21. That's 7 over 6. That's the improper fraction version. Now, they didn't tell us here, oh, if your answer is an improper fraction, change it to a mixed number. So I'm going to do that real quick. 6 divided into 7. 6 goes into 7 one time. I'm going to multiply and subtract. So my final answer will be 1 and 1/6. This is our final answer because they did want a mixed number. All right, the next one, it's a division, which we know we're going to need to turn into a multiplication problem, but I can't work with it looking like that, so let's convert them to improper fractions. 3 times 4 plus 2 is going to be 14 over 3, divided by, and 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 more is 7 over 2. Now, we don't divide, so we're going to take 14/3, bring it down exactly as he appears, and we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 2/7. Look to see if either fraction can be reduced. It can't, so we look down the diagonal. 14 and 7 both have a factor of 7 in common. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 7 divided by 7 is 1. And multiply straight across. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. Now that is an improper fraction, so I'm going to divide the 3 into 4. 3 goes into 4 one time, and you subtract. So my answer was going to be 1 from here, and 1/3. And one more. You are baking cakes for your friends. The recipe calls for 2 1/3 cup of sugar. If you have 15 cups of sugar total, how many cakes will you make? So I've got to split this 15 cups of sugar up into 2 1/3 cup batches, right? So that I can figure out how many times I can make these cakes. So I'm going to divide the 15 by 2 1/3. I'm going to write it this way though, 15 divided by, and let's go ahead and make that into an improper fraction. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7, so 7/3. Another problem, I don't divide, so we're going to make it into a multiplication problem. Write the first one down, but I need it over 1 so that it can be a fraction. And we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 3 over 7. Now I look to see if there's anything I can clean up any further, either within each fraction or diagonally. I can't. So I'm going to multiply straight across. 15 times 3 is 45, and 1 times 7 is 7. And again, I'm going to do some of the products and the quotients a little quicker. Pause the video if you want to try it on your own. Now, that doesn't make sense if you're cooking, right? So I'm going to go ahead and convert it into a mixed number answer. 7 goes into 45 6 times. 6 times 7 is 42, and you subtract. 5 times 2 is 3, so my answer here will be 6, and the remainder over the divisor. So 6 3/7. So if I'm making cakes, that doesn't make any sense either. I'm just going to say, well, I can make 6 cakes. I don't have enough for another cake because 3/7 of a cake isn't going to fly. I'll see you in the next video.